I believed love was quiet. I believed it meant waiting, swallowing words, and saying sorry first. That belief died the night Lena stood across from me in our living room, arms crossed, eyes sharp. "You need to talk," she said. My stomach dropped. "Okay," I replied, forcing a smile. "What's wrong now?" She laughed, short and empty. "That right there. You always make it sound small." "I'm just trying to stay calm." "You're always calm," she snapped. "That's the problem." I frowned. "I don't understand." She walked closer, stopping inches from me. "I'm tired," she said. "I'm tired of carrying everything. I'm tired of being with someone who's not enough." The words hit me hard. Not enough. I repeated. "What does that even mean?" "You know exactly what it means," she said. "Money. Confidence. I'm moving forward and you're stuck." I laughed, nervous. "Lena, come on. We're engaged. We're building something." "No," she said. "I'm building. You're surviving." That hurt more than I expected. "I work every day. I do everything I can." "And it's still not enough," she said, her voice flat. I felt my chest tighten. "Is this about someone else?" She looked away. "Why do you always do this?" "Because this doesn't come from nowhere," I said. "You don't just wake up and decide I'm not enough." She sighed. "I'm not cheating if that's what you're asking." "That's not what I asked," I said softly. Silence stretched between us. I could hear my heartbeat. "Do you love me?" I asked. She hesitated. That pause shattered something inside me. "I care about you," she said finally. I nodded slowly. "That's not the same." "I can't keep pretending," she said. "I need more." "From me?" I asked. "Or from someone else?" She grabbed her coat. "I just need space." I reached for her. "Please don't do this like this." She pulled away. "Don't beg. It makes this worse." "I'm not begging," I lied. "I'm trying to understand." She shook her head. "You never do." The door opened. Cold air rushed in. "I'm going to clear my head," she said. "When will you be back?" I asked. She paused. "I don't know." The door closed. The sound echoed through the apartment. I stood there for a long time, staring at nothing. My phone stayed silent. My hands shook. I sat down at the table. The engagement ring lay where she left it. I picked it up, the metal cold against my skin. I whispered, "I was trying." The room didn't answer. For the first time, the future I planned felt like a lie. I realized I wasn't losing her in that moment. I had already lost her. I just hadn't known. I leaned back, covering my face. "I gave you everything," I said to the empty room. Nothing replied. The silence felt final. I stood up and paced the room. "Say something," I muttered like she was still there. "Just say I'm wrong." I remembered her smile from years ago, the way she used to squeeze my hand. "You promised," I said out loud. "You promised we were a team." No answer. I grabbed my phone and typed her name. I erased it. Typed again. Deleted. "I don't know what you want from me," I whispered. My chest burned. I pressed my fist against it. I tried to be better. I really did. I walked to the window, watching headlights move below. Everyone else kept living. Mine had stopped. I checked the time. 10 minutes. 20. "You'll come back," I told myself. "She just needs air." I pictured her laughing with someone else and pushed the thought away. "Don't," I warned myself. "Not tonight." I returned to the table and placed the ring down carefully. "This was supposed to mean forever," I said. My voice cracked. I sat on the floor, back against the couch. "If I'm not enough," I said, "then what am I?" The question hung there, unanswered. I closed my eyes and breathed through the pain. Somewhere deep inside, something broke and something else woke up. I didn't know it yet, but that night changed everything. I would never be the same man again. Ever truly. After Lena left, my mind refused to rest. Every argument replayed like a courtroom scene where I was always guilty. I kept hearing her voice. "You never push yourself. You're too comfortable. You don't fight for more." I said her name into the empty room. "Lena," I whispered like she might answer. She didn't. The next morning she came back like nothing happened. Calm. Distant. Controlled. "Morning," I said carefully. "Morning," she replied, not looking at me. I watched her move through the kitchen, phone in hand, fingers flying across the screen. "You barely slept," I said. "I'm fine," she answered. "You were gone all night." She finally looked up. "I told you I needed space." "I know," I said. She cut me off. "Can we not do this already?" I nodded. Okay. But I kept watching. Her phone never left her hand. When it buzzed, her face softened. When she noticed me looking, her smile vanished. Who are you talking to? I asked. She froze. Why? Because you haven't put that phone down once. She sighed hard. Here we go. I'm not accusing you, I said. I'm asking. You're always asking, she snapped. Always watching. Always insecure. That's not fair, I said. She crossed her arms. You don't trust me. I'm trying to, I said. You're making it hard. Her eyes flashed. You're being controlling. That word hurt. I just want honesty. She laughed bitterly. From you? I stepped back. What's that supposed to mean? It means you act like the victim all the time, she said. Like I owe you explanations for everything. You're my fiancée, I said quietly. And I'm still my own person, she replied. Who's Mark? I asked. She blinked. What? Mark? I repeated. You said his name in your sleep. Her jaw tightened. He's just an old friend. From where? From before you, she said. My stomach twisted. Why is he texting you this much? Because he listens, she said. Unlike you. That's not true. He understands ambition, she added. You wouldn't get it. I forced a shrug. Okay. She grabbed her bag. I'm late. She kissed my cheek quick and cold, then left. I stood there staring at the door. Old friend, I muttered. That evening, I sat on the couch pretending to watch TV while she talked in the bedroom. Her door was slightly open. I heard laughter. Soft. Real. No, stop, she whispered, smiling. My chest tightened. I know, she said. I miss that too. I leaned forward without thinking. Tomorrow? She asked. Pause. Okay, she said. I'll tell him. Tell who? My heart pounded. I waited for her to mention my name. She didn't. When she came out, I acted normal. Good call? Yeah, she said. With who? I asked. She glanced at me. Sarah. I nodded. Cool. That night, she slept facing away from me. I stared at the ceiling. Do you still love me? I asked softly. She didn't answer. I turned onto my side, my back to her. Love doesn't vanish, I told myself. It fades. But deep down, I knew better. Love doesn't disappear overnight. It gets replaced. I wasn't looking for betrayal. I was hoping to be wrong. I wanted proof that my fear was just fear. That's why I told myself not to touch Lena's tablet when it lit up on the coffee table. But my name wasn't on the screen. A message preview glowed. Can't wait for tonight. My stomach dropped. I stood there staring at it. Don't, I whispered to myself. Just don't. The tablet buzzed again. A photo loaded before I could stop it. Lena smiling. Not the polite smile she gave me lately. A real one. My hands shook as I picked it up. I shouldn't, I said out loud. I scrolled. Messages stacked on messages. Late nights. Inside jokes. Plans. A future written without me in it. She never says that to me, I muttered. I felt cold. My chest felt hollow. I kept scrolling even though it hurt. Each line peeled away another layer of hope. You make me feel alive. He doesn't get me like you do. I sat down hard on the couch. Wow, I whispered. The shower stopped. I dropped the tablet like it burned me. My heart pounded so loud I thought she'd hear it. Lena walked out, towel around her hair. Hey, she said casually. You okay? I stood up. Who's Mark? She froze. Why? Because your tablet answered for you, I said. Her shoulders dropped. She exhaled slowly. I didn't want you to find out like this. Find out what? I asked, though I already knew. She sat down across from me. I didn't cheat. Not physically, I said. She didn't argue. Say something, I begged. Tell me I'm wrong. She rubbed her face. I'm tired. That sigh hurt more than yelling would have. That's it. I asked. That's your defense? Mark understands me, she said. My goals. My drive. And I don't. I asked. You make me feel stuck, she said quietly. The word cut deep. Stuck. I repeated. I built my life around you. And I feel like I shrank, she replied. I laughed once. So you replaced me. She looked at me. It wasn't planned. Neither was loving you, I said. She stayed silent. I swallowed. Did you ever love me? Her eyes flickered away. She hesitated. That pause destroyed what little hope I had left. I think I did, she said. I nodded slowly. That's not love. She didn't stop me when I stood up. We're done, I said. She whispered, I didn't want it to end like this. I walked toward the couch. Then you shouldn't have started something else. That night, I lay on the couch staring at the ceiling. The bed felt like a lie. Around midnight, I called Sarah. She answered immediately. Hey, what's wrong? It's over, I said. She paused. Do you want to talk or breathe? I want to not feel this, I said. I know, she replied softly. Tell me everything. I did. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, I'm proud of you. For what? I asked. For seeing the truth, she said. Even when it hurts. I closed my eyes. I loved her. I know, she said. That's why it hurts this much. I hung up and stared into the dark. The ring was still on the table. My engagement wasn't ending tomorrow. It was already over tonight. I turned my face into the pillow and let the silence finish the job. Lena packed like she had done it before. Shirts folded clean. Shoes lined up. No shaking hands. No hesitation. You don't need to rush, I said, leaning against the doorframe. She didn't look at me. I'm not rushing. I laughed once, sharp and broken. It feels fast. She zipped her bag. I've had time to think. That hurt more than the truth. So this is it? She nodded. I'm going to stay with Mark. Just for now. I laughed again, then stopped. My chest tightened. Temporarily, I repeated. Yes, she said quickly. I need clarity. Funny, I said. You seem very clear. She sighed. You'll understand one day. That snapped something in me. I hope you don't. She froze. What? I hope you never understand what this feels like, I said. Because if you do, it means someone you trusted walked away from you like this. She looked guilty for a second. Just a second. I'm sorry. That's not enough, I said. I know, she whispered. She picked up the last box. I'll come back for the rest later. There is no later, I said. She paused at the door. I never meant to hurt you. You still did, I replied. The door closed behind her. The click echoed through the apartment. I stood there staring at it. She'll come back, I told myself. She just needs time. I walked into the kitchen. Her mug was still in the sink. I picked it up and set it down carefully like it might break. Photos stared at me from the fridge. Smiling faces. Vacation magnets. Promises frozen in color. This was real, I said out loud. Tell me it was real. No one answered. I sat on the couch, then stood up, then sat on the floor. The apartment felt bigger and emptier at the same time. My phone buzzed. Sarah. I didn't answer at first. Then I did. She left, I said. I'm on my way, Sarah replied. She arrived with no questions and no judgment. She sat beside me on the floor, shoulder touching mine. I don't know what to do, I said. You don't have to, she replied. I feel stupid, I said. You're not, she said. You loved someone. I built everything around her, I whispered. Sarah nodded. I know. I rubbed my face. She packed like she was already gone. Sarah stayed quiet. She said I'd understand one day. Sarah's voice was firm. You don't need to. I feel empty, I said. That's normal. I feel free, I admitted. And that scares me. Sarah looked at me. Freedom always does at first. I leaned back against the couch. What do I do now? She didn't rush to answer. Right now? You breathe. And tomorrow? I asked. Tomorrow you wake up, she said. And you figure out who you are without her. I laughed weakly. I don't know who that is. You will, she said. I stared at the wall. There's no plan anymore. Sarah nodded. Then you get to make one. I closed my eyes. I didn't ask for this. No, she said softly. But it happened. I swallowed. Do you think she'll regret it? Sarah didn't hesitate. That's not your job to worry about. I exhaled slowly. I feel like my life just stopped. It didn't, she said. It changed. She stood up. I'll stay tonight if you want. I shook my head. I need to be alone. She hugged me tightly. Call me if the walls start closing in. After she left, I walked through the apartment slowly. Each room held a version of us that no longer existed. I sat on the bed and pressed my hands into the mattress. This was ours, I said. I stood up and walked back into the living room. The silence was loud but honest. For the first time in years, my future didn't belong to anyone else. I didn't know if that was a curse or a gift. I sat down on the floor again and whispered, I don't trust this freedom. but it was already mine. Weeks passed without ceremony. No announcements. No closure speeches. Just days stacking on top of each other. I stopped checking Lena's socials first. That was harder than it sounds. My thumb still hovered sometimes. Don't, I told myself. Not today. At work I kept my head down. That's when Daniel noticed. You've been early every day this week, he said one morning. I sleep less, I replied. He raised an eyebrow. That's not what this is. I shrugged. I needed distraction. Daniel leaned against my desk. You've been focused. Clean work. Faster decisions. I just do what needs to be done. He nodded. I want to give you something bigger. I blinked. Bigger? A project, he said. Your call on it. I hesitated. Are you sure? Daniel smiled. You don't ask questions like you used to. That stuck with me. At the gym, I showed up without motivation. I stayed anyway. A guy next to me said, "Rough day?" "Rough season," I answered. He laughed. That's honest. I lifted until my arms shook. It felt good to hurt somewhere I chose. Therapy came next. I sat across from a woman who waited without pushing. What do you feel right now? She asked. Angry, I said. At her? At myself. Why? Because I stayed too long. She nodded. And what does that say about you? That I love deeply. She smiled gently. That's not a flaw. I slept better after that. One night Sarah called. How are you really? I didn't cry today, I said. That's progress. I didn't smile either. That comes later. I stopped asking mutual friends about Lena. When her name came up, I said, I don't want updates. They respected that. Daniel called me into his office again. The client loved your approach. I frowned. Mine? Yes, he said. Yours. Something shifted then. Ownership. Pride. At home, the apartment felt less like a wound. I rearranged furniture. Threw away old receipts. Made space. One evening, I sat at the table with a blank page. I just need to say it, I muttered. I wrote Lena a letter. Every word I swallowed. Every apology I didn't know. I loved you. I lost myself. You didn't see me. My hand cramped. My chest burned. When I finished, I read it once. That's enough, I said. I took it to the sink and lit the edge. The paper curled and darkened. I watched it burn until nothing was left. I laughed quietly. I didn't send it. That felt powerful. Sarah texted later. Proud of you. I replied, me too. At the gym the next morning, I caught my reflection. You look different, I said. Not stronger. Quieter. Daniel passed my desk. Keep this up. I will. Therapy felt lighter. Work felt earned. Nights felt calm. I wasn't healed. I still woke up reaching for someone who wasn't there. But I wasn't begging anymore. One night I said it out loud. I wasn't not enough. The word surprised me. I was just giving too much to the wrong person. I sat with that truth. Let it settle. For the first time since she left, I felt steady. Not happy. Not complete. Just grounded. And that was enough. I didn't ask about Lena. That's how I heard about her. Sarah mentioned her name casually like it didn't matter. By the way, she said, Mark lost his job. I paused. Oh, that's it. Sarah asked, what do you want me to say? She hesitated. Nothing. I just thought you should know. I nodded. I'm good. She didn't sound convinced. Money's tight for them. They're fighting a lot. Okay, I said. I hope they figure it out. Sarah sighed. You've changed. I had to. Later that day at work, Emily leaned over the divider. You look lighter, she said. That obvious? I asked. A little, she smiled. You don't carry tension the same way. I stopped dragging things with me. She nodded. That takes effort. Every day, I replied. We walked out together that evening. Want coffee? She asked. Not tonight, I said. But thanks. She didn't push. Another time then. That felt nice. No pressure. That night my phone buzzed. Lena. I stared at the screen like it was a trick. Can we talk? I laughed quietly. Of course now. I didn't open the message. I set the phone down. I tied my shoes instead. Outside the air was cold. My breath came fast as I ran. 1 block. 2. My legs burned. Don't react, I told myself. Respond. I ran harder. I remembered sitting on the couch, waiting for her replies. Begging for crumbs of attention. Not anymore, I muttered. By the time I got home, my chest hurt, but my head was clear. Sarah called. Did she text you? Yes. And? I didn't answer. I'm proud of you, she said. I don't hate her, I replied. That's the weird part. That means you're healing. I just don't want to go backward. You won't, Sarah said. Not now. The next day, Emily asked, You okay? Yeah, I said honestly. She smiled. Good. At lunch, Daniel sat across from me. You're leading the team well. I'm trying. You're doing more than trying. I nodded. Compliments didn't scare me anymore. That evening, Lena texted again. Please. I stared at it. She didn't say that when she left. I said out loud. I typed. Deleted. Typed again. Deleted. I walked to the window instead. Cars passed. People lived. I remembered Lena telling me I wasn't enough. I survived that, I whispered. Sarah texted. You don't owe her a response. I replied, I know. Emily messaged next. Gym tomorrow? I smiled. Sure. I finally opened Lena's message. I miss you. I closed it. That's not my problem anymore, I said. I sat down and breathed. Slow. Steady. Karma didn't need my help. It worked quietly. Naturally. Mark was gone. The excitement faded. Reality stayed. I wasn't celebrating. I wasn't angry. I just wasn't involved. That night I replied once. I hope you're okay. Nothing more. I set the phone face down. For the first time, I didn't wait for a response. I slept without dreams. In the morning I felt calm. Not victorious. Not cruel. Just finished. I laced my shoes and headed out, sunlight cutting across the sidewalk. I smiled to myself. I didn't need revenge. I kept walking. Time had done the work. And she was finally feeling what I felt. Too late. When I saw Lena again, I almost didn't recognize her. She stood near the cafe window, shoulders slightly hunched, fingers wrapped tightly around a cup she hadn't touched. Her eyes searched the room until they landed on me. They softened. Mine didn't. Hi, she said quietly. Hi, I replied, sitting across from her. She studied my face. You look different. So do you. She nodded. Yeah. Silence settled between us. Not heavy. Just honest. I'm sorry, she said finally. I waited. She swallowed. I didn't handle things right. I hurt you. Yes, I said. You did. She flinched but kept going. I thought I wanted more. I thought I needed someone else. And now? I asked. She looked down. Now I know I made a mistake. I leaned back. Why did you want to see me? She hesitated. Because I miss you. Which version? I asked. She blinked. What? The man I was, I said, or the man you see now? Her eyes filled. Both. That's the problem, I said calmly. She reached for her cup, hands shaking. You changed. I had to, I replied. She nodded. You're stronger. You listen now. You don't disappear into yourself. I smiled faintly. You didn't like who I was when I needed you. I didn't understand you, she said. I explained myself, I replied. You just stopped hearing. She looked up at me. Can we try again? The question hung in the air. For a second I imagined it. Us rebuilding. Familiar routines. Shared history patched together. Then I felt how tight my chest became. I don't fit there anymore, I said. She frowned. We could start fresh. We would still be standing on the same cracks, I replied. She reached across the table. I didn't take her hand. I regret leaving, she whispered. I believe you, I said. Then why does this feel like goodbye, she asked. Because it is, I answered gently. Tears slipped down her face. I didn't know what I had. I know, I said. She wiped her cheeks. Do you hate me? No, I said honestly. That scares me more, she admitted. I forgave you, I said. Her eyes widened. You did. Yes. For everything, she asked. For myself, I replied. Not for you. She nodded slowly. I understand. You hurt me, I continued. But I don't want to carry that pain anymore. She breathed out shakily. I lost you. You let me go, I corrected. She managed a sad smile. You're right. We sat there quietly. The past stayed where it belonged. I hope you're happy, she said. I am learning to be, I replied. She stood up. Thank you for meeting me. Thank you for apologizing, I said. She paused. I wish I had been enough for you. I met her eyes. You were. You just didn't stay. That landed. She nodded once and turned away. I watched her leave without following. Outside the air felt lighter. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel cruel. I felt complete. I walked away knowing something important. She didn't lose me when she left. She lost me when I learned my worth. And that lesson stayed with me long after she was gone. After Lena walked away, I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel like I won anything. I felt calm. Emily noticed first. You look peaceful, she said as we stood outside the cafe. I feel quiet, I replied. She smiled. That's better than happy sometimes. We sat down with our drinks, leaving space between us that felt comfortable. This isn't a date, she said gently. I know, I answered. And I like that. She nodded. Me too. We talked about work, about music, about nothing important. And somehow it all felt important. You're different when you talk now, Emily said. How? I asked. You don't explain yourself, she replied. You just say what you think. I laughed softly. I used to think I had to earn space. And now I take it. She raised her cup. That's growth. When we stood to leave, she didn't hug me. She didn't linger. See you tomorrow, she said. Yeah, I smiled. See you. That night, I went home and looked around the apartment. Okay, I said out loud. Let's finish this. I opened drawers. Old papers. Forgotten notes. Shirts that smelled like memories. This isn't me anymore, I muttered, dropping things into donation bags. I found photos next. Smiling faces. Promises that didn't survive reality. I don't hate you, I said to them. I just don't need you. The bedroom was last. I hesitated before opening the small box in the drawer. The ring stared back at me. I picked it up. You didn't fail, I said quietly. You just belong to a different life. The next day I walked into a jewelry store. The clerk asked, How can I help you? I want to sell this, I replied. She examined it. Are you sure? Yes, I said without hesitation. She named a price. I nodded. When I walked out, the ring was gone. So was the weight. Sarah called that night. How did it go? I sold it, I said. She paused. And I feel free. That's not easy, she said. I know. Later, Daniel asked, You ever take time off? I'm thinking about it. You should, he said. You earned it. That night I booked a ticket. Just me. No compromise. No approval. I stared at the confirmation screen. I chose this. The words felt powerful. Emily texted. Coffee after work tomorrow? I replied I'd like that. Not because I needed something. Because I wanted it. I stood by the window, city lights glowing. I almost lost myself, I said, trying to prove I was enough. I wasn't chasing revenge anymore. I wasn't waiting for apologies. I was moving forward. I packed a small bag. Simple. Light. For the first time, my choices felt like mine. I'm not running, I whispered. I took a deep breath. I'm walking toward myself. And that felt right. Months later, my life looks nothing like I planned. And somehow, it looks exactly like what I needed. I stand on a balcony in a city I chose alone. Wind brushes my face. Lights stretch endlessly below. Nice view, a stranger beside me says. It is, I reply. Feels earned. He smiles and walks away. I lean on the railing. You made it, I whisper to myself. My phone vibrates. Lena's name. I stare at it, calm instead of tense. I hope you're happy. You deserve it. I read it once. Then again. I am, I say softly. I don't reply. Not out of anger. Not out of pride. Because I don't need to. I slip my phone back into my pocket and breathe. I remember who I was when she left. Small. Apologetic. Afraid to take up space. I don't live there anymore, I say. Emily's voice echoes in my head. You don't explain yourself now. She was right. I think about the nights I begged for reassurance. The mornings I questioned my worth. I thought love meant disappearing, I say. I was wrong. Someone on the balcony laughs behind me. Life keeps moving. Sarah's voice follows next, remembered clearly. You loved deeply. That's not weakness. Daniel's words surface after. You earned this. I smile. I did. I close my eyes and feel the air fill my lungs. I was never lacking, I say aloud. I was just unseen. That truth doesn't hurt anymore. Feel steady. I picture the version of me who sat on the floor of an empty apartment, afraid of freedom. You're okay now, I tell him. A couple steps out onto the balcony. The woman says, "You look peaceful." "I am," I reply. They nod and move on. I check my watch. Time doesn't scare me anymore. I remember the ring, the fire, the ashes. I didn't lose a future, I say. I gained myself. I open my eyes and watch the city glow. I didn't win. I didn't get revenge. I survived. And survival changed me. I think about love now, how it should feel. Light. Mutual. Safe. I won't beg again, I say. Not for love. Not for respect. My phone buzzes again. Emily, dinner tomorrow? I smile. Yes. Not because I need her. Because I want to be there. I look at my reflection in the glass. Calm eyes. Relaxed shoulders. I know who you are, I say to him. I don't rush answers. I don't chase people who walk away. I choose myself. The city hums below like a promise. I rest my hands on the railing and laugh quietly. You survived heartbreak. That matters. I turn back inside, leaving the balcony behind. Not because I'm running from the past. Because I'm walking forward. And this time, I'm not afraid of where I'm going. I carry no bitterness. No regret. Just clarity. And that is enough. I turn off the lights and close the door behind me. The silence feels warm. For the first time, I don't ask who I am. I know.